Those of you tuning in is Tuesday night, August 19th, 2025. And you're listening to me, Brian from Trainer Productions, in my hometown of Cowan, Tennessee. And of course, there's a reason why this is going live at this time of night. Monster Combined Train E303/B820 has CS6 number 3194, the Spirit of Law Enforcement, on the lead. Happened to see it after I left work in Chattanooga earlier. I was checking it out with my buddy Jesse from Whistleblower Productions. We were trying to find out where the train was. But needless to say, we found it, and I ended up having to run ahead. And of course, you're now seeing tonight's broadcast. So, as usual, for an occasion like this, 3190. I must have been hearing things. 3194 happens to be one of my favorites simply because, well, take a wild guess. And if you don't know, I'm going to tell you the horn. Back a few years ago when I first caught it, it was September 11th, 2021. It was basically 20 years after 9/11. It was more fitting to catch this unit leading a northbound train out of Birmingham to Nashville. That horn itself just stuck right out. They had done a wonderful job of a remake of a classic Leslie RS5T. So, well, recently, this locomotive has been through here twice, and guess where I was? At work. Well, not tonight. I'm here to see it. And of course, I got my production camcorder with me. I'm going to record it, so this is going to be another clip to go up on YouTube. Be on the lookout for it. Also, at the same time, when I'm trying my creativity, I got my one of my flashes set up on a tripod with a wireless remote. I'm going to try and see if I can get a nighttime picture of it. Something I've been trying to practice in, and getting better at. I've gotten a little bit better, but I still need to edge it just a little more. So, anyways, I looked and we got a high approach, so he's somewhere over the mountain, possibly already passing through Stevenson. So, and of course, local law enforcement's out. Cowan PD's out, so give him a wave. So, anyways, that's why we're out here. So, while we're waiting, I want to make some important announcements. This weekend, I will be in Western Arkansas around the Fort Smith area. So, if any one of you happens to be one of my subscribers from the area, you may catch me on the old KCS line. Well, you might as well call it Safety KC. I just call it KCS. Basically seeing what trains they can catch with my good buddy Mike from Middle Tennessee Rail Productions. Oh, hold on a second. How's it going?
What's going on?
Oh, you're in for a treat.
Why?
Train that's leading has got the Spirit of Law Enforcement on it.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah,
I heard that.
Yeah, I pieced it up earlier from Chattanooga. So yeah,
I thought that was you standing out here.
Yeah.
You excited about this one, ain't you?
Oh,
When's
yeah.
it supposed to be down?
What?
When's it supposed to be coming down?
It's on the other side of the mountain right now. It's got a signal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there was one northbound that already went through here, so he's already cleared, so he's actually the next one down.
Awesome.
I wanted to give you guys a heads up when I was coming down here, because I know you guys appreciate that.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. I'll be back around.
All right.
I'll be back around to see that.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. That's actually one of the officers I know, a real nice guy. So, give me a heads up, appreciation for our police department here in Cowan. These guys do a really good job. Anyways, I'll be around this Fort Smith area, so You may see me around there. If you happen to see me, come and say hi. Love meeting other rail fans. Uh, Third weekend of September, we are having our annual Fall Heritage Festival. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This should be well, look it on your calendar. It's the third weekend. I believe I think it's 18, 19, 20. It's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Well, look on your calendar. I'll put in the comments, later on for this live. If anybody has to come back and watch it. So, but anyways, you guys got to come down. The museum will be open. I'll be hosting anybody that has questions about history, since I am one of the tour guides here. I'm also on the board of directors for this museum, as I've told most of my friends. So, anyways, they got a whole lot of vendors. They got live music. Got food. Come on down. It's a nice thing for a family event. Bring the family. Anyways, getting on down the list here, third Saturday of October, and of course, I know all you football fans are crazy about that one. We're also having a Rail Fan Day here. It's the second annual. I'm getting a little tongue twisted here. It's the second year I'm actually hosting this. A little bit of help from my buddy Mike at Rail Moments, so I hope he's watching this. If not, I'll see him another time. But anyways, I know he's telling you an awful lot about this if you go on his live streams and all. But yes, the third Saturday of October is Rail Fan Day here in Cowan. So getting on down the list here, if I remember off the top of my head, November 8th, Irondale, Alabama. Be there. It's Magic City Rail Fan Gathering, hosted by a friend of mine, Aiden McClellan. Last time he held a rail fan get together there, I had a lot of fun and met one of the legends on Norfolk Southern. So that was a real treat, and seeing a lot of good trains. You got to go to Irondale. That is one heck of a spot. I was so swear on it. It's not one of my tops. My tops. One of my very top favorites is right in the middle of Ohio, just north of Columbus. But Irondale is another one of my favorites. So, anyways, so like I said, November 8th, it's in Irondale. Get around, get to meet with a bunch of great people, hang out, watch trains. It's a lot of fun. So that's about what all is planned so far as November goes. There may be some other things that may be planned in there. Sometime in early December, I will be making a return trip back to Knoxville with Mike at Middle Tennessee Rail Productions to catch the train again. But this time, 154 is not running on the Three Rivers Rambler. This time it's a different locomotive, but main purpose is to go see it. So we're gonna get a Christmas train. Well, they might as well call it Christmas. So, anyways, guys, hope you're enjoying this. Like I said, ignore all the hotbeds. Anyways, guys, we are now waiting for Monster Train E303 B820 with 3194 on the lead. Now, if you haven't seen this train, this is why I'm out here recording this. This is why I'm out here getting live streaming for you guys. For anybody that can't get out and get these things, I try to provide this as much as I can. So, he'll be going northbound here. He is a very large train from what I was told. My buddy Jesse, Whistleblower Productions, told me earlier that it was a combined empty ethanol / empty coal train. So, let's explain why it's E303 B820. Well, guys, we're just in a bit of a wait. So, and once he gets close, we will hear his horn at the tunnel. This is the part I'm waiting on, guys. This horn, it's something else. It's not like these K5s that you hear on most of these trains now, or as most people call them, the Jevo horns. The RS5T still holds a significant tone because I've heard it so many times in my ears, and it's such a cool tone. You can't go wrong with a Leslie. So we just now sit and wait. Um, I told my one buddy that's working patrol tonight, about the excitement that's happening. So we'll be sure to be back here. So guys, let's just enjoy it and let's just wait and see when he comes in. Sheldon, thank you for the heads up. He's past Anderson as we speak. That was a minute ago. So he is just about almost to Sherwood. Sherwood is actually going to be the start of the longer grade, which is basically 7 miles from where it starts in Sherwood. As it goes past there, it'll start at 10 Talon, which used to be a small little area. And the reason why they got the name, it was a small little village area that was actually railroad section houses back in the day. Yeah, I already saw I-196 earlier. That was before I started this, so that train should already be to Tullahoma by now. So anyways, so Tantalum was just basically an area of section houses that they gave a name to. They must have named it after somebody. But later years, they basically abandoned the area and basically moved it all into Sherwood, which had a mainstay for business. When the Gauge Lime Company was booming in business back then up until 1949. So, Tin Talon is basically the start of the grade. It goes up. That's actually the long side of the grade, near 2%. So, any trains that are over tonnage, the helpers have to come down. Well, excuse me. Let me reiterate that. Now I'm using the wrong term. Pushers. Pushers have to come down from Cowan to assist the train from Sherwood, pushing it all the way up and over the crest. And the crest is actually at the tunnel. And going on the other side is the descent. So you have a 2-mile descent on this side of the tunnel. So the grade actually just ends just a little bit to our right at the next crossing, which is Bookout Road. So the grade actually ends there. But of course, like I said, 2 miles long. So you basically hear some squealing and all that. So, and I happen to be pairing through. He has got the green signal, so he is definitely highball, as the term is properly used. So just kind of going on my chats here. Well, I just want to say thank you to Sheldon, Southern Railroad Rail fan. If I got that, yeah, I got that right. For the heads up. Yeah, anytime you get over 200 cars, that's crazy. But as long as they're empties, they can manage. It's just a little dark for this camcorder. Barely can. Oh, that's some decent amount of light. I'm gonna do a test, guys. I'm just trying to see how my light's gonna work. Of course, same time I'm flashing. Oh, my phone looks pretty well lit up, with the night light in the back. But the way my camcorder looks, it looks like it's dark. Yeah, it dies about roughly 9:30, 10 o'clock, which is actually nice. It gets pretty peaceful here in Cowan. That's what I love about this town. So it is, yeah, it's now 9:30, so traffic's died down. And okay, passing milepost OOJ95. He is 8 miles from here. So we're at 87. You do the math. 87 plus 8, that's 95. So he is actually cresting the grade. The start of it is milepost 94. So he's getting a good start on that. So, like I said, guys, just hang around. I'm going to do some testing on my flash and all it because I'm trying to see how my lighting is going to turn out. Along with the fact that I'm using my car's headlights. And of course, apologize, I hear my phone going off. Yeah, you heard. You heard Mario. Well, we're going to take care of that right now. Nah, you're good. You're good on that. Yeah, I don't get it. The lighting on this, I'm using my phone for the live stream here. The lighting just looks fantastic. But if I go over to my camcorder, it looks dark. So that's the thing when you're doing things in high def. A phone will actually do better. Oh, of course, yeah, it will. Alright, I'm going to try and see if this will work back here. Yep. Yeah, the problem is, I would have to talk to our president about that and see. Of course, it depends on who's showing up. I know I'm pretty much dedicated all weekend for the festival. Um, our new lead attendant, I don't know how many days he's gonna be here, but great guy to talk to. He's a former railroader. I've gotten to know him, really good guy. I got no complaints on. There's always times I call him on the phone. Like I said, it's gonna be a big question how many is coming to help out. I can mention to him. I'm just gonna see what he says. It's not a guarantee. I'm already dedicated for it. Okay, I'll try another test shot. Okay, let me get it off. Alright. I seem to figure out my angle as far as my flash goes. Yeah. Well, for those of you joining in, I hope you're enjoying this. We're 24 minutes into our live stream here. Pretty soon we should be hearing our train. He should be just now getting close to the crest of the grade, as I would call it, which is the tunnel, which is just right outside of milepost 89. 89 is actually just right at almost at the north portal of the tunnel. It's pretty nice looking. It came out a few years ago. It's got all the logos, first responders, as far as law enforcement. It's basically blue, black, white, and you look in the windows there. It's got the American flag. It was actually the very first special painting one that I went after in 2021. And just hearing that horn, that's what really hit. Well, you figure those units get so dirty, really quickly after doing those long hauls. There's still a few I've yet to catch. I know for the longest there's a pusher locomotive over on the SNNA North. somewhere south of Decatur. I forget the area name. Starts with an L, but it was a lone pusher. And it was basically the clinch field. I've yet to go see that one. Of course, it might have been swapped out already. This was months ago when that was there. Oh, okay. Yeah. And to me, it's really neat to go after ones that are, putting the special paint. I mean, the CS6 and NS ones. Yeah, you get out there, you see it every time until you get either special painted ones or the heritage units, and it's always fun to chase them, especially if you're looking for a really unique photo. As many places I've been to, I tell you what was it? Yeah, it was the Virginian was going west on the Memphis East train and caught it in a few places and it was really unique and seeing in that paint there. To me, it's more fun, going after the special painted ones. Well, while we're waiting, I'm gonna fix my scanner on the strap, my camcorder. Then when I start recording and get the audio, the conductor calling the signal. It's always neat to get that for the audio. For anybody that watches the videos I put up. Yeah, speaking of Sunday nights live stream at the studio of my friends Mike and Casey Real Moments have featured the photos and videos of 8099, and I tell you what, I'll admit that thing does look good in the paint. Especially if you get into the really good lighting, man. Oh man, it just. But no one I like, and of course somebody will basically shrivel because of the fact that we went after it last year. 4822, the way of the world, looks good in its paint, and of course that was quite the fun adventure that time. Yeah. Sharing the story time for those watching. It was right around this time last year. It was basically the way of the world, and what was that? The Reading that was trailing behind it. We're basically in the OCS train on its way to Mobile. Well, we were tracking this train the whole time. It came down. Okay, yeah, I was right. The Reading was right. Anyways, we were sitting there tracking this train the whole time, and it had taken a whole lot. And it came down the CNOTP line, which is the Cincinnati Southern line from Cincinnati to Chattanooga. Got down, he had a crew change, and of course, a good friend of mine that I know of ended up being the conductor on that train. Yeah, the picture did turn out good. Anyways, so sitting there tracking it. Well, I didn't get into Chattanooga until late at night, and I got the idea, along with some of the Railroad Rail fan, they say, hey, I know where to catch it on this way. Oh, can't really hear it, but sitting there standing here, I can actually hear it climbing up the mountain. It's very, very faint, but it's up there. I'll wait for this car to disappear. Usually, when it's dead here in the middle of the night, you just hear everything for miles. And like I said, I thought I could hear it. Yeah, I hear them climbing up there. I hear him. He is throttled up there. So I definitely hear him. Whew. You know when I'm drinking warm water. There's that car again. Oh man. It's cooled down a little bit, but he is officially at the tunnel. I just heard the horn. I'm hearing that sweet. Oh my gosh, I got chills now. I love that horn. So here in about 5 minutes, maybe more sooner than that, I'm gonna start production recording. So I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Oh yeah, that's gonna be crazy. So I want to thank you all for tuning in on this live stream. So about the next few minutes or so, this train will be here. For those of you who are not able to get out, this is why I'm doing this live stream, so you get to see it. So we're just gonna adjust this just a little. If I can get it. There we go. So and like I say, he is going to be a monster of a train. He is empty coal train E303 combined with B820, which is empty ethanol, on its way north. More likely, the coal cars will be dropped off in Madisonville, Kentucky, to be taken back to be reloaded with coal for the power plant down there in Stillsboro, Georgia, which I'm thinking that's where it came from. And as far as the ethanol, that's going right into Illinois to be refilled and possibly taken back for a different area that refines it. Oh, even better. Okay, let's see if we can get a sighting on them. Alright guys, I'm going to start my pre-intro on the production camcorder. So don't mind me if I'm talking in the back here. Well, lo and behold again. I'm here in Cowan, and there's a reason. Well, of course I live here. 3194 is on its way with a monster train. Seen it earlier in Chattanooga, and it's like, that horn just absolutely drives me nuts. So, we're out here to get it. So, we just got through the tunnel. He'll be here in about a few minutes. So, for those of you watching, stick around. Lights peaked. He's here. Oh, Tyler said hi back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, 3194 just peaked its light. It's just up the hill. You'll be here in about a couple minutes. So enjoy the sights, the sounds. Well, just the view mainly. I don't know how you put it. So I'm going to start rolling on my production. Well, there you have it. 3194. He was a 2x2. It was actually a regular AC44 and a rebuilt AC44 that was mid DPU, which is really nice to see. So, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in to this Tuesday night edition of Trainer Productions live stream here on August 19th, 2025. I want to thank you for joining along with me. See you next time.